comes to the clearing of dividends, yes, it can be controlled through a family trust. Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, one thing to bear in mind, when it comes to reporting on your tax return, whoever is that accountant handling that business for you, whether it's through a trust, and I'll tell you about one client that I have concerning that. When it comes to that, you must have that T5 that speaks to work for your own income tax return. Now, second part to your question, when it comes to the trust, all trust accounts must report also the T3 to the government. And on there, they have to specify how much was declared in terms of dividend and all and that sort of stuff. And who were the recipients of these dividends. Because, of course, with a trust, you have to specify who are the owners of this trust or the beneficiaries of that particular trust. But
Most of the time, I would just put it under the kids' names because the kids are under the age of 18. Then if there isn't any taxes.
all right. So yes, that's a very good strategy, because I do have a client who is a lawyer that just did exactly what you just said there. We're able to open a trust account, and the owners of the trust are the kids. Yes, so that's a very good strategy. It is a good tax saving strategy. Okay, yes, please.
The first panelist told us that it's good to pivot. Do you usually have like a test? For instance, like if I offer a service and then my service doesn't have high demand and then I have to pivot into some other related service, what if I incorporate and then like it's too much of a commitment at the beginning when you don't know if your product of your service is going to actually take off? So do you have like a grace period for you to say like, I'm not going to incorporate from day one until I test my product? Like, how do you handle that?
Nice question. The answer to that is this. If you're uncertain about the future of your business in terms of its profitability and clientele and revenue generation and stuff like that, it is very, very important that you sit down with a good accountant. And depending on what type of a business you're getting into, you have to study the history of those businesses. Second thing is, you have to know what is your strategy that you are going to use to get your business known through the public. Well, then your revenue generation will be a big problem. But how can you determine all of that before deciding whether or not to incorporate? A lot of clients do what is called a due diligence test, and they do some asking and some brainstorming, verifying other records. Because once you get into the business, once you have decided to register or incorporate that business, you're in it. Whether you succeed or fail, you're in it. You don't want to fail.